All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into some TA. All right, guys, so this will be a shorter video. It is Friday, so if you are new to the channel, we do a Monday through Friday update. We do a daily update each one of those days. And then on Saturday, we have the big kahuna. We got the weekly update. That will be a longer video, and we'll cover what we're expecting going into the next week, because we'll have all the closing prices for the week, and then we'll cover a crap ton of setups going into that week so we could be ready. All right, so if you want to come prepare with me tomorrow, that will be out tomorrow morning for you. All right, we're going to start off here with SPY, and I'm going to point out, guys, you are as of right now at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have, what is that? We have two hours and 15 minutes until the close. Guess what? This is ugly. All right, it's ugly as of right now. I don't know if you're gonna turn things around going into the end of the day. My hunch tells me you are. Why? Because you close like this and does not set you up for something bullish. All right, this is not bullish looking. If you close out with this upper wick here, guys, we're just going to be stuck in this range again. I have to assume, yeah, we just swept the high, and now it wants to come and revisit the bottom of the range. That's, typically what I see when we do these little sweeps, all right? You did this little sweep through this range. What happened next? You came and revisited the high of that range. What happened here? You swept the top of it, and we very much so can revisit the bottom of it if you are going to close out like this, all right? So I'm just going to make that pretty clear here. We're going to come down to the 15-minute time frame to discuss things. All right, what am I paying attention to right now? Guys, we have literally just been finding buyers over here in the golden pocket. And until this is lost, I mean, hey, this is where you want to get bullish. This is where buyers at least want to be stepping in if they don't want to come down and revisit down here. All right, so we could be watching this 544.61 level over there. I'm not going to have that clutter in my chart. Why? Because you have the major zone that I'm going to be paying attention to right below. Okay, we're actually going to take that off right there. All right, we're just going to be calling out like we see it right here. All right, 544.12. That is what I'm watching on the downside. If 545.80 does not hold, you get a 15-minute close under here. What are we going to look for? 544.12. Okay, but like I said, buyers, hey, you got to step up going into the end of the day to avoid closing out with this big old ugly wick. You close out, we're going to say 548. No, we're going to say 549 to 550. This thing's going to look sexy going into next week. You have a nice, solid, green, wide-bodied bar going on here. All right. You're going to literally just trap these sellers going into next week. That's going to be a real sexy look. But as of right now, that's not how it's shaping up. So what are we going to see going into the close? Let's see. All right. But moving on to QQQ. All right. So QQQ has a very similar look going on here. You swept the high and immediately got sucked back down. That is not the best look. All right. It is not the best look. You would have wanted some continuation here. It's not typically what we see. All right. Double tops, they rarely do play out. So I'm going to just remind everyone of that. But we have seen them happen where you come down here and then you have your pullback and then you revisit that spot. All right. So I'm just saying we could range it up here if the market really wants to do so into July. All right. So another thing that you want to see turn around into the end of the day, you want the large upper wick to disappear. It doesn't look like it's going to just disappear out of nowhere, but hey, we've seen crazy things happen in the past. We could see some crazy things happen right now. All right, so what am I going to be paying attention to? Okay, we got this downtrend breakout. Or what am I paying attention to? We got the downtrend breakout. 15-minute hammer started popping up right over here. Okay, right here at your 481.05 support. That is going to be a demand zone. You came down into it. You're finding demand down there, just as expected, all right? You had this. This was supposed to also be a demand zone because it was previous supply. You came back down into it. You did end up getting your bounce. Same look as SPY over here, all right? You did end up getting your bounce, but then you faded it, all right? You faded right through it, which means we have more sell orders sitting here than buy orders, okay? So you could, you might be getting this bounce here, all right? But you got to get above 483.43. because we know that's where more sell orders are right now. You had this. This is a weak move right here. You sold right back into it. So I'm just, calling it how I see it. That's how I'm looking at this market. Sorry if you hear that construction truck making some noise. I hear it as well through my headphones. All right. But QQ, it is right on the uptrend that I was watching going into today. If we were going to sell off, I was literally going to be paying attention to is in the morning brief, 481.05. That also would align with this uptrend. You could see it pretty clear over here on the hourly time frame as well. All right. But so far, you don't have the best looking reaction to it. You did print that hammer candlestick. You did break through that little downtrend we just talked about. But yeah, I mean, you know, guys, buyers aren't really giving that follow through. We want to see this thing start to reverse. All right. So first sign of reversal is going to be if you can take out this high right here at 482.45. All right. Yes, this is the intraday update, guys. We're going to have a nice long video tomorrow covering, you know, all the stuff we're watching into next week. But yeah, this video, we're just going to go over some intraday price action. What are you paying attention to going into the end of the day? Of course, you know, what are you paying attention to going into next week as well? All right, a little early guy over there. All right. Okay. Moving on, though. 481.05. You give up this zone right here. The bottom of that zone is at 480.60. That's what we're going to call it. You break underneath there, 479.30 is what you were paying attention to. All right, you break under there, 478.39 is what you're going to be paying attention to. But if you can break above 482.45, that's when this thing's finally going to be putting in that higher high over here on the 15-minute time frame, which, you know, the last one was over here. You had your big explosion. Ever since then, you got a lower low after this lower high. Okay, you got a lower low and then another lower high, and you broke down to a new one. All right, so, you know, nothing has changed so far. It's neutral, and, you know, I'm just keeping everything as scalps right now, and that's how I'm looking at this, all right? Moving on to IWM, guys. IWM did end up seeing this big move up today, and you faded the crap out of this move. It's the same candle that we got over here, the same exact ones, okay? Sellers are present over here. I was sniffing out for a small cap rally. Guess what, okay? This thing is now being a butthead, and it's now returning all the way back down here, okay? Not necessarily looking the worst. You did get this daily, you know, breakout here, but I will point out you're getting the same exact selling you got going on there. That led to lower prices. Okay, you see how you kind of just you didn't get that. You didn't gap up and you faded. Okay, you gapped up and it was a gap a go, 3 days in a freaking row. Okay, what do you got over here? You got the gap and you faded. You got the gap and you faded. You got the gap and you faded. You got the gap up right here, you faded, all right? So we still know sellers are present. So yeah, small cap rally is probably on the horizon, but I can't say that it looks like it's going to be right now. Just my thoughts, which is why, you know, I'm open to that scenario over here on Mr. SPY where we just range it up. All right, let's range it up. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. We know it's a time to be cautious. Henry Boy over here, I was looking for a freaking bigger dip. We didn't get the bigger dip. We did not. We decided to do this move. I was really hoping that some of these chips would take a bigger dive than they did. I was hoping, you know, several things would take a dive, and they didn't. That's okay. I will just, you know, speak on my behalf, guys. I have been playing it cautious. I, you know, took you know, profits out the market. I'm just sitting on my hands for the most part right now. I told you the other day, it might be time to start getting a little heavier in the market if we get that dip. But yeah, I'm just saying right now, I still think it's very clear this is a time to be cautious. We could continue higher from here. But like I said, you know, this thing is looking ugly on the smaller time frames. And you really don't have bulls stepping up over here. All right. IWM, small caps. I'd like to go, you know, start getting into these. Some of these guys got some really nice setups. Like you come over here on SoFi. We'll actually talk about that in a little bit. But as you see, you're not getting that follow through. And that's not what I like. You want to see that follow through. Okay. Just like on IWM, you're not seeing the follow through. You got a gap up. You want to see a gap and go and maybe close out the day over here, 205 to 207. And then that sets you up for a further rally. This sets you up for, you know, you're going to fall flat on your face and probably have another red day. There's that. Moving on to DIA. All right. You see that? You see that? Okay. I don't even remember when I drew that. I'm going to be completely honest. All right. Maybe I was back testing DIA. No, I was not, though. I don't know. You expect sellers here in the golden pocket. The thing is ugly. I wouldn't be touching it. That's my opinion. There you go. There's nothing new to say over here on DIA, and that is that. Moving on to Mr. VIX. All right. You're getting that indecision candlestick. You did have the hammer to start off the day with this morning, but as you could see, okay, you've completely traded flat now, and now it's turned into a doji candlestick. Just like SPY is only down 0.05%, this thing is only up 0.24%. All right, so really flat Friday going on here. We have a short trading week next week because we have 4th of July off. All right, happy early 4th of July. There you go. But yeah, guys, I mean, VIX is just, it wants to make up its mind. But this is why I say it's a time to be cautious, guys. It really is. It really is. If you've made a ton of money on some of these moves, all right, if you've done so, just wait. Just wait, all right? If you're waiting on the beast to erupt and then it erupted, you take your profits, you just wait, all right? You're probably going to get another setup. You probably are. I can't guarantee this thing comes down and hits my alert. You're probably going to get another setup. All right. If you made money on another beast, you see, this is the time to be cautious. You see these explosions, you take your profits into those explosions, and then you just sit on your freaking hands. All right. We had a lot of explosions recently. And look at this. This is why it's time to be cautious. The thing came right back down to where it erupted from. It was looking sexy, $70+ move, and then you died. What do you want me to say about it? All right. Be cautious. Be patient, guys. We're traders. All right. If you want longevity in the game, you're going to need to learn how to just sit on your hands sometimes. And that, I know it's not fun. I know it's not exciting, but I'll tell you my little hack to this: futures trading. All right, guys, go, either fund your small account, futures account, and start off like that. You go the funded route, and, you could have your fun with eval accounts and learn that way and then get funded and stuff. But you know what? If you really want to trade, go do it that way. It's going to mean you can focus on, all of these intraday setups and stuff like that. Really get down the tickers you want to. For me, it's NQ and ES. I've actually only been trading ES today instead of NQ. And honestly, guys, this is a lot less stressful. Now, what I will say is these little scalps that I'm used to getting, I aim for that $50 to $100 mark. I'm just in and out within like a minute or two. Okay, on ES, thing wants to take its dear sweet time. All right. And, the returns aren't as much. I actually got into 2 ES earlier and I was uneasy. The thing threw me for a ride. Came right back up. Then we were up on the trade. But it threw me for a ride over here. I'm going to stick with one con. It was right over here. It was right over here. You had this little dip over here. It took away. I was up around I think it was 550. I saw that all disappear within a few minutes. And then I was like, oh, sweet baby Jesus. All right. But we waited it out, and we did end up swinging back up pretty quick there. All right. So there's that. But I will definitely say slower moves over here on ES if you are going to trade it for yourself. If you have been stressed with NQ, okay, there you go. NQ likes to, let's look at it this way. Every 5 points, which NQ does every few minutes, okay? This is one candlestick. It's a 7-point candlestick. This is a 5-minute 7-point candlestick. In 2 minutes here, what happens? 9 points. All right, guys, one NQ, that is almost $200. That's $180. Take a chill pill. All right, go over to ES if you don't want to suffer through that. Okay, there you go. But moving back into the Henry show. Okay, VIX, guys, this is just something supporting to be cautious over here. All right, now let's go over some of these big boys. Amazon, it does look like we're going to be getting that pullback after target number 1 was hit. I do think it's going to pull back into this 188.35 to 191.70 range. From there, I'm going to buy the crap of this bad boy. This breakout just started, and that's just my opinion. All right, you got heavy volume there. I don't know how you're going to close out the week here, but quite frankly, I know you got that wick. I think it's going to go something like that, and then we have an explosion on the horizon, all right? I think this 215 level is going to be hit up there. This is a really long breakout that's been waiting to happen. It finally happened this week. You retest that, you freaking get bullish on that bad boy, guys. You get bullish on it. No financial advice will be given here on this channel, but this is something that, this is a money printer waiting to happen. And again, if you made money on the big run here, okay, I didn't catch this thing. I will not deny. I did not catch that thing. But I will say, all right, if you made money on the first big run there, and then maybe you caught the second one, I didn't catch that, this little big pump. That's a big guy. Congrats if you did. It's time to sit on your hands and just wait, all right? You're going to have a chance to put that money right back in at a better price. Most likely. I can't, say for certain, but, from the looks of this thing, yeah. Apple, again, time to be cautious. Just take a chill pill. Level wasn't respected. Let's take it off the chart. All right, you're just consolidating here. It could head higher. I'm not going to deny, okay? But I don't think it's something to chase, all right? I think I saw a thing over on Twitter I think it was yesterday. It was like progressing as a trader, or the evolution of a trader, something like that, is just laughing at things instead of chasing. Instead of, getting anxious and chasing things, you just laugh at it. That's my own words of, that little post the guy had. Yeah, I agree, guys. I agree. I see so many tickers. I do these videos for us every single day. I review too many tickers, all right? I've had a lot of emotions I gotta suppress there. And, at the end of the day, you can't suppress the emotions. You just acknowledge them. And that's the point when you laugh at them, okay? You're like, holy crap, that like this? You think I didn't want to go long on this thing? All right? I just didn't. You think I didn't want to chase this thing after this breakout? I just didn't. All right? I'm going to wait for the retest. That's that. Microsoft over here, another big boy over here. It does look like it could pull back here. And if it pulls back, it's going to set up with a juicy opportunity, all right? You got this uptrend you're paying attention to, you can actually take something like that. And, you got this little rising wedge pattern going on there. But yeah, you break down from this uptrend, guys, and things get quite slippery. You got this, mean quadruple 4-hour bearish divergence going on over here. You didn't quite hit our 457 target up there. You hit the other two, though. There's one around 453. I think the other one was 447. Or there was one closer. I don't remember, all right? But you hit the first two. You got pretty close to the third. I still think that's going to be hit, but I think it very well could have this pullback here, depending how QQ and SPY want to close on us, all right? Guys, if we get those large upper wicks over here on QQ and SPY, that is going to suggest these things are probably going to begin their pullback. We have plenty of pullback fuel is what I'm getting at. You saw things rip faces, all right? And now the semis started pulling back. Now you got, Microsoft looking like it could pull back. You got Apple, Amazon looking like it could pull back. Stumbling on my words there. You got Google looking like it could pull back, all right? But then again, this is also another one that just had this big breakout here, right? These things got explosive, guys. And again, you waited patiently for the move. Okay, you got the move. All targets have been hit on that move, all of them, okay? And now, well, my short-term targets, guess what? All right. In the end, this guy's going to be hit. It is. But yeah, guys. All right. It's time to just sit on your hands, be patient. Let's wait for some things to set up. Okay. I'll keep them coming with the setups. I got you. Almost every day we're going to have more setups. And then every week going into the week, we have the setups. There you go. There's that. Okay. Now we're going to come over to the chips. Guys, the chips, they look like they could continue this pullback. And I told you guys, I spoke about this in yesterday's video. I was hoping we got some of these pullbacks. All right. We didn't quite get them. Okay. But if you do, this 4-hour RSI, that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. You start getting close to down here. Let's just mark it over here. We'll go like that. We're going to put alert on right here. Okay. I'm going to do it right there. We're not going to do the bullish divergence. We're just going to do crossing like that. I'm going to do that. Oh, it's going to hit on us right away. Oh, thank you so much. That's beautiful. Thank you. You're amazing for that one. Okay, we're going to do that. Is it active right now? Is it not active? I folded. All right. Let's set a new one. It's okay. It is okay. I'm going to come over here. We're going to go like that. And this time we're not going to mess up again. We're going to put down a 40. All right. So I want to be alerted if you get to where you bounced here. You get to where you bounced here. Yeah, we could see this big one. This is when you get heavy on chips. This is why, if we see it, we get damn heavy on chips. You guys don't got to do nothing. I will go heavy on chips 30 to 60 days out, and I'm going to print. That is that. SMCI, all right, right here, 822.54. That's your breakout level. You just continuously finding buyers there, right? If you're someone who takes the short-term trades, I know you've been doing well off that level. Okay, but if things get really sloppy over here, that is when we risk coming down here, and I would really like it. But in reality, things don't look too bad to me. They really don't look too bad. And quite frankly here, if you just come over here to the weekly chart, I pointed out the other day, I'll point it out again for you. Get this low, get this high, you have a higher low. And, I know it's with a large, ugly upper wick, but you do have the higher high. From here, you printed the lower high and then you went lower, okay? And then guess what? You switched the script, all right? You're flipping the switch. There you go. The tides have started to change. And that is that. NVIDIA, what do we got going over here? A whole ugly mess, all right? You get this bounce, okay? Now you just got this ugly decreasing volume, guys. A big move is loading. Is it going to be up or is it going to be down? I can't tell you for certain. All right. You see where my alert is. If I get it, I'll take it. Okay. I really wanted that to happen intraday. I would have taken. That would have been, real sexy, right? That would have been real sexy. And it goes back to that chasing thing I was just telling you. I don't think it's a good idea to chase. I think it's only going to result in losses for someone. Over time, you're definitely going to see the same thing I've seen where it just don't work. Okay. But guess what? We might be getting our opportunity. We're going to take advantage of it if it comes. But how this thing is closing out, it's neutral. All right. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to say it's a neutral close. We're really just, you got this range going on here. You're getting ready to break out from the range. Where's my magnet? There's the magnet. Okay. You got that high going on. We're going to say you got that low going on. All right. This one candlestick set your range. You break above 128.12. You probably have a quick move up to like 131-ish up there. But quite frankly, that could set you up to, really make a push for it. And then you break under 122.60. You're probably going to revisit this low and probably 115.82. And hopefully that happens intraday for us. Yeah, Sam, the thing's not looking good. All right. Again, all right, you got your little range going on here. You rejected at the top of the range. This was your false breakout. Okay. And now you got this upper wick going on here going into next week. We're going to have to see how these things all close. But that is what I got. AMD. The troll continues being a troll, but I will say, I still think this thing is setting up for a nice long. All right. I don't know how this is going to close out, but you got the increasing volume on the day like that. If you close outside of this upper trend line here, I'm going to like it going into next week. All right. It's not going to be top watch, but I'm going to like it. I think this thing is queuing up for the move to 172.49. And this is why I always remind you guys when we chart this thing, the thing is known to be a troll. Take the profits quick if you see him. The thing is known to be a troll. I've sat through the troll and I've lost thousands on AMD during this move right there. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you, it loves to take people's money, especially the bulls. But also the pairs. You see this thing continuously just chops up and down. All right. I just, I'm typically on the bull side. ARM. Lower high. Is it at the golden pocket? Oh, yeah, it is at the golden pocket. There you go. Oh, look at that. If it does pull back, we watch that uptrend. We watch 145. Okay. On the upside, you see the levels. I'm not even going to speak on them. MU. This is one that, hey, we're just, seeing this thing. Just stay down here. Okay. This zone right here, 120, 129 to 130.50, we're going to call it. That's where you want to be holding. Okay. You don't want to get under there. Why? First things first, you got that. This is your golden pocket. It's right at the bottom of that zone. If you were to fail through here, you fall and that level fails. And we got to look at the whole move. The whole move, that could bring you all the way down to 125 for the 0.618 fib. It's probably the first spot you're going to get buyers under there. Okay, that's $3 more of downside right there. Boom. Oil. We'll start off with the big guy, I guess. We'll start off with that. We'll start off with CL right there. Okay, guys, I think it's time to be cautious on oil. Okay, you're just stalling out right here in your golden pocket. We've seen this happen before. Okay, we have. It can go a little higher. It can. But this thing likes to respect the golden pocket like every single other ticker that we watch. And yeah, we're just getting a whole lot of sellers up here. I don't think, risk to reward is there right now. I still think we will have setups on the horizon. DOP, okay. See, this thing's not looking the best. This does have an inverse head and shoulders kind of look to it. Setup was down there. All right, you got the breakout. If you come back and somehow come back down to this 108.84 level, I think it's going to look so sexy. Okay. I will put that on for us. There you go. Oxy. I get a lot of questions. I get messages on Twitter about Oxy, guys. Same thing I just said about oil. All right. You caught the big move. You got paid. We got paid. Okay. For me, it was another one just like Amazon. It was a big payday. Just take a chill pill. You don't need to be trading all the time. Try out the futures game. I'm telling you, it's gonna. If you got the ADHD in you, all right. If you want to just sit there pulling triggers all day, go do it in the futures market. Okay, you're gonna be able to focus on short-term scalp setups instead of waiting for swings to play out. Because in reality, you can't always have these big swings on. There are going to be periods when it's not, it's not in your best interest. You have the bit of corn. You did not break above the 62,458 level. You did not. You stalled out. I called it out right over here. It looked like you were gonna. You stalled out, and now it does look like you're probably gonna revisit down here. Maybe see this daily RSI start dancing around down here. Maybe something similar to what we got going on down here. Okay, you putting that bullish divergence. I don't know how this is going to shape up because you do have this pretty decent sized wick there. All right, that is 1.6K. But in reality, guys, you're waiting for a break above the daily 9 here, and you want to break above that 62458 level. That is the high that you're paying attention to. For the tides to start to change, that's going to be, hey, you're going to make this low wherever this ends. You break above it, you have your first higher high. From that point, you have a pretty clear shot up to 66624. TLSK. Told you guys. These candles don't necessarily look like, what we reverse off of. Okay? You could get one like this. You're not even getting one of those. All right? Probably going to put in something like that. Something like that. All right? I understand one time it happened, but then the next day you came right back to it and put in a massive hammer. All right? You're going to have a signal over here. I still think, it's not the worst idea to start laddering into, dated calls. I like it. All right. I think this thing is getting ready. I think this is where it's going to bottom out, right around 1560. That's just, it's what my brain is thinking. Right around 1560. Comes down there. That's when, you start to load your boat. Right now, hey, sizing is important. And I think, hey, I just showed you what to watch for on Bitcoin. We don't have confirmation on it yet. So there's that. Come down here to coin. All right. Coin's another thing that's just, hey, stalling right there at the daily 9, just like the bit of corn. Decreasing volume on that, run up right here. That's not the best look. Okay, you got the increasing volume on these sell days. And then you run up and you have decreasing volume. That's not the best look. Okay. It's actually very similar to what I was seeing over here on ES earlier. And this is just a little volume hack for you guys. Oh, we ended up popping. I couldn't take it because I'm recording this video. It's okay. It's okay. Even came back and tested the 9 right there. I like what I'm seeing. I do. Oh, and what happened? You held the freaking golden pocket. Look at that. But what I was seeing earlier, see, clear signs. You were going to see them when the buyers are starting to step in. I'm just going to take over here. Going to point out down. Volume up. Up. Volume down. Down. Volume up. Up. Volume down. All right. It's not something that looked good. But as you see, you don't really have any sort of volume pattern over here. They're neutral. That's what I was seeing. You come down, you get this massive volume spike. I think it was this bounce over here. You get this bounce. All right. We had that range. Guess what? Volume went down. That is what I pointed out earlier to the Discord. And then you end up, doing that. And guess what? Buyers still haven't stepped in. What can I see clear as day right now? All right. You got that downtrend to be paying attention to, and you are dying off of it. You're not actually dying. It's pulling back. It's pulling back. It probably is going to, I'm thinking we have an end of the day push. This thing has been pushing down all day. All right. Do I really think it's going to close out with this candlestick? Nah. I've seen this thing be a troll too many times. Okay. You have a large upper wick here. It can close out like that, but you better expect some downside after that. And that's that. You're probably going to stay in this range, though. And that is that. Okay. Moving on. Where were we? All right. Mara. This is one that I say, hey, you don't have any reason to FOMO, but I will say, whenever Bitcoin goes, this thing hasn't really done anything during its whole decline. All right. The Bitcoin's decline. It's just stayed flat. This thing's getting ready for a massive move, guys. It's got to be getting ready for the massive move. I considered adding August calls today. All right. So do with that info what you will. No financial advice will be given here on this channel, just speaking on my behalf. I like August calls. I do. All right. I even like July calls, but I'll tell you right now, yeah, I think this is something that you got to just sit on your hands and wait on. This is a massive right shoulder forming here. Bull flag, right shoulder. When it goes, it's probably going to shoot straight up to 25 bucks. I was looking at the $22 August 16 premiums today. And that's going to give you over 100% gain. You shoot up to 25 bucks. All right. You don't have to make hundreds of percents when that move finally comes. You could just, catch something like this. It's probably loading up, something like that. All right. Something like that. And guess what? Maybe you scrape 100, 200 bucks. But what happens if you do it with 1,000 bucks? There's your 1,000 bucks. All right. $1,000 to $2,000. There you go. That's how I'm thinking of this whole Mara play right there. All right. There you go. All right. Now, we're going to cover AMD. AMD, guys, here in the weekly time frame is closing out strong. I don't know how you're going to close into the end of the day. You got an hour and 44 minutes left. This is now a 30-minute video. I was planning on making this one short. Guess what, guys? All right, guess what? You got a wide body green bar. You got a breakout from this range you had going. Same price range from this candle all the way up to this candle right here. How many weeks is that, guys? How many days? You see that 50 days, 7-week range. You just broke up from it. Okay, if we're going to take on the handy dandy golden pocket, what happens? You're right in the golden pocket, but I do think this thing is looking like it's probably going to get another move up. All right, maybe it's just a little like that, and then you pull back. That would bring you above the golden pocket. Then from that point, I have to assume you're probably just going to take out the high. I think this is getting ready to go back to the highs. I'm just going to, be very blatantly clear on that one. Increasing volume, increasing price. I like how it's looking. I know you're in the golden pocket. I know you've pretty much hit 2 of those take profit levels. Okay, you didn't quite hit the second one, but you hit the first one. You're getting, seller step in here. Maybe you get this one. If it does, amazing. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're probably going to stay within this range here of this gap up yesterday. You get this, it'll set up an opportunity for PANW. I like it on the weekly time frame. We're actually closing out the month, guys. So a bunch of these, charts don't look bad at all. Actually, just look at SPY. All right, does that look bearish? No. We're going to look at QQQ. Does that look bearish? No. We're going to look at IWM. Does that look bearish? Honestly, not so much, right? It looks like this thing before you went a little higher there. Okay. What happens if we look at DIA? It's a piece of poop. That's what I knew. I knew it would look like a piece of poop. I knew it would. Why? Because it's done absolutely nothing. It's been the weak index that has just been chop city for no reason. All right. You just bounced back and forth between the golden pockets. That is all you got over here out of DIA. Boom, boom. Okay. We got that one closing strong. We have Netflix closing strong. We have Tesla's closing strong. All right. And on the weekly time frame, this thing is closing out real strong. You get a little pullback or some consolidation here, that's going to be your next setup. You got this, you got this. It's very clear. We were calling this out for a very long time over here. Then for a while, we said we're just going to, sit on it and we're just going to let it be because we don't know what the heck. We don't know which direction it's going to break. We're just going to wait for something to happen. Finally didn't. I let you know on this day right here. Then I let you know on this day right here, right? I will be honest, I did not play this one myself, all right? I wish I did, but at the same time, I know my past experience, and Tesla has definitely taken more money from me than it has made me. So I've decided to just, recently I've been sticking with the big boys. All right. I like them. Tesla was removed from the big boy list. Why? Because it's been a troll and it's, been this piece of poop for quite some time. The tides are starting to change, though. We've been very transparent about them. You break above this high right here, okay, 205.60. Things get spicy. You probably get a straight shot between 217 and 240. That's that. How's Amazon looking? All right, we could chart, looking good. Apple, we could chart, looking good. Microsoft, we could chart, looking good. Google, looking good. All of these aren't looking terrible, okay? You just have SPY over here doing this thing with your wick. Oh, what happened, guys? We started to get our bounce into the end of the day. QQQ, you got this wick. You don't want to close out with that, but at the end of the day, you're just established in this this range. Unless you're gonna come really, close out at 480 to 481, and then I'm gonna be like, we're gonna look for a pullback next week, and that's that. All right, but again, daily wick here. What the heck is this thing? Okay, we want to see this thing not close like this if we're gonna be bullish into the start of next week. That's that. If it close out like this, we look for a little pullback to start off the week, and that's just, a little sneak peek into the weekly update if we close out like this. There you go. All right, guys, with that being said, that's what I got for you on this fine Friday evening. All right, I hope everybody loves the rest of their day. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will catch you tomorrow for the weekly update, where I will do my research before the video, and I will scan my charts, and I will pick out a bunch of setups that we can take a look at moving forward. All right, with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.